Alrighty, welcome back everyone, it is LaughNgamez here. Today we're back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. Today we have ourselves a Terran versus Protoss on the map Frozen Temple. Between two North American players is what we have here, and it should be a good game. I actually cast a game between these two players before, and they're going at it again. So, without further ado, spawning down the bottom right hand side of the map, it is the red Terran player playing for Team Psystorm. It is puCK. Now, his opponent, spawning up to the top left-hand side of the map, the blue Protoss player playing for Team Root. It is puCK. As I've said before in cast, puCK puts out lots of his replays publicly, and puCK plays at a high level. He's always at the top of the ladder, so always giving us lots of games to cast. Now, you may notice that this is that the overlays are a bit different for this cast. This is the base Starcraft overlay, and that's actually because patch 3.7 recently came out, but every patch basically means that older replays, you can't be logged in and cast them for some reason, so that means your settings are cleared, so that means that you can't use overlays while casting them. It's a bit unfortunate, but I figured, hey, we'll power through and just cast this anyway. Now, from puCK, we have quite an interesting build here, going for a proxy barracks here versus Protoss. Now, this isn't common. Occasionally, well, this is the most common instance of a proxy barracks. Occasionally, there'd just be straight-up marine proxies, which you know, with this that's been happening for basically since StarCraft 2 came out, in which you'd proxy a few barracks and try to push the Protoss. Now, that's not really common anymore. However, some Terrans, and it's usually a very select few Terrans, it's usually a Terran doesn't do it that often, and it's usually they'll either do it or they won't. There's not Terrans who will bust it out once in a while usually. I guess it's sort of just like a style preference, but anyway. So this proxy barracks, just one Reaper. Now, normally you may think Reapers are terrible versus Protoss, and that's true, they sort of are, because they're sort of terrible versus Protoss because Protoss gets things out like Adepts, which are very quick, which can catch them, and then there's also the Mothership Core, which just shuts them down hard. However, an early Reaper coming from a proxy usually has a minute or two to try and get some harassment, and puCK is doing a very good job dealing with this. puCK having a bit of a hard time to get damage done. puCK sort of identified this early on and went for that early Zealot. puCK is producing a Marine or two right now, so he wants to put pressure on other sides. He wants to keep this pressure rolling, which is a bit bizarre. Usually you just go for the one Reaper, but no, puCK's trying to sort of deny puCK. This is an interesting play out of him. He's going for a proxy bunker. He wants to be able to shut down the natural. He wants to stop puCK going for a natural, but puCK says no way to that, as he's going for a Nexus in the top right. He says, okay, you can try to shut down my mining. Maybe he knows that Natural likes to go for this. Maybe he expects it, and I think he might, because he is moving down the ramp to shut this down. He may be able to get the SCV before the Marines get in the bunker, and he just might. Oh, that's going to be so brutal for puCK. Yes, the bunker does finish. The Reaper's going to run into it and get in, so it can start sort of working away on the Zealot. The SCV can dance inside and repair, but not quite as much getting done by this as puCK would have hoped. Now, puCK on the other side of the map, this is pretty much the one map in which we've seen heavy Cyclone aggression, and this is sort of a unique playstyle that can seem incredibly broken and strong, or can just sort of be shut down hard. Basically, you go for Cyclones, you go for their upgrade, and early on when it's just small number of units versus small number of units, the Cyclones can always get something, can usually get something done, like pick off a Mothership Core. Now, puCK is on one base, and puCK might sort of be a bit worried here. He did get in with this Reaper, but he didn't see the Stargate, so he's going to be wondering about that. He also hasn't scouted this hidden Nexus of puCK, so puCK's going to think that he's going to be pushing into a one-base Protoss, which might be a bit difficult, but really puCK did invest into that other Nexus. Phoenix on the way for puCK. Phoenix very good at shutting down Cyclones here. We see two Cyclones moving across the map here. They might actually lock onto this Oracle, and they do. That Oracle going to go down. Sorry for not quite going down. puCK, unfortunately, not unlocking on that. He wants to go for the main base, I guess. One Cyclone at home to sort of protect from the Oracle. Sorry for not having health bars there early on, but look at that. Those two Cyclones quickly go in. They're going to pick off the one pylon. puCK can't make anything else right now, and the two Cyclones come out. puCK tried to pull the probes. He has a Phoenix, which can get a lift off, but we see the two Cyclones lock on, kill off the Mothership Core there. Very well done by puCK. We see now puCK, he's got to wait for this pylon to get back up, but puCK might be able to kill this off too, and he's going to lock onto it. He's going to shut this down. puCK has really no more protection. cancels the pylon, lifts up one of the Cyclones. The other is going to get pressured by this Oracle and might actually go down. Oh, it's going to be close. Both units so on health. Good kiting from Epic. Manages to trade one of the Cyclones pretty much for one extra Oracle there. Now, puCK's production has been heavily stifled. Surprisingly enough, very well done to the credit of puCK. He's not putting a lot of resources while this goes on. He's sort of saturating his other base, creating probes constantly. Now he's getting at Phoenix, and this was sort of an all-in from Epic. It was an all-in, but it's not like he's lost the game because he hasn't, you know, killed puCK. Because he did get up that extra CC, he got some damage, and Epic's actually going to think he's in quite a decent position with thinking there's no extra Nexus out of puCK, but there actually is. We see a Liberator moving across the map, Phoenix, that puCK has, very useful at shutting down Liberators here, but if the Phoenix are out of position, it could really get some good damage done. We see one Reaper, this may be the original Reaper, is it? I can't actually see without the WCS game heart, but the Reaper trying to get some damage done, and Epic early sees what puCK's doing. puCK's going for Blink. Blink's so effective at pressuring Terrans in these situations, particularly if puCK suspects there may be more Cyclones on the way, and there actually is going to be. It's seemingly going to be. Okay, no, it's not going to be mech. Epic made an extra factory here, but he's now throwing down barracks, so it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do with it. Usually the Cyclones would be followed up by Widow Mines in a build like this, so maybe he made the factory hoping to get that done, but ultimately is not going to go for that anymore. puCK rebuilding his mothership core over at his sort of second base that's over on the right side of the map, because why not, I guess. Stimpack on the way for Epic, so he's starting to get up his production here. He's floated over his CC. So right now, if we take a look at the incomes here, they're pretty even, are the players. puCK's got a good worker advantage. He is at a bit of a disadvantage not being able to easily transfer probes or anything with this base being all the way out here, but definitely a much better benefit than not having it. Robo on the way for puCK, Blink on the way, continuing with these Phoenix, wanting to grab those Cyclones, shut down Liberators. There's one Liberator, got 4 kills there, shut down some mining of puCK. So that was very nice, but it ultimately was cleaned up. The Phoenix being a good tool to clean those up. Alright, Epic moving across the map with these 2 Cyclones, wanting to try and get some damage done with them as he invested. We see Widow Mines are being produced by Epic. I guess he has the extra factory, so he thinks why not. And now he's actually made he's got these 2 factories that are just sitting here as he's going into bios, so just 2 mines at a time with 2 factories. That's something you don't see every day. We see a 3rd base coming down on location for Epic, protected by a Widow Mine, I guess, to possibly pick off an Oracle or a Phoenix. This Widow Mine might connect with a Phoenix. No, puCK pulls out of the way just right there. The Stalkers are moving out. This Widow Mine is going to connect with one of the Phoenix. The Stalkers blink away and avoid the damage there. But Epic is moving out right now. There is Blink for puCK, so he could possibly blink on top of this army. One of the Cyclones is saved by Epic. Good save there. Lock-ons deal good damage to the Stalkers. And now, these Stalkers can't trade too well with the Bio right now, so the Bio is dealing good damage to the Stalkers, and puCK can't really push in here. Players even on supply right now, so things aren't going too bad for Epic. He's got a 3rd base on the way. puCK already has his 3rd base mining, but his well, it's sort of weird. It's an odd situation. puCK's gonna eventually mine out of the space. He'll have to transfer probes a far distance. Epic still has yet to identify the space, otherwise he'd clean it up. He's gone sort of far to the right, but he hasn't seen it. He's actually moving out with 2 Widow Mines to the north, and this might tip him off. puCK sees the 2 mines, and he's gonna pick one of them up with a Phoenix, but the other one runs north. No, but it's gonna stop just short of seeing the base. Oh, is Epic gonna run them north? Oh, he sees the 2 Stalkers blink. He sees another Stalker there. He might be getting a bit suspicious of why puCK's up there, but for now, Epic's just busy with pushing. He's got 2 Widow Mines in this army and a Cyclone. A bit of a ragtag attack here. A large number of Blink Stalkers is building up for puCK, so Epic does need to be careful. As puCK could possibly just blink on top of this, and he might just pursue this army. No, Epic is going to get out of there safely. A Marine trying to deny what would be the 3rd base, actually the 4th base of puCK here. Widow Mine connects with the Warp Prism, that's nice. That means it'll now take only 1 more mine shot to be cleaned up. Immortals on the way for puCK, Armor on the way for puCK. If we take a look at the upgrades, Epic will have an advantage here. Well, sort of an advantage with his +1 attack. puCK is going for the +1 armor. Bit of an interesting choice considering how he is just maining with these Stalkers. I guess maybe he wants them to be a bit more beefy. and he's also going to follow it up with Adepts. Epic has yet to identify this base. He got so close to seeing it there. Epic's third base, interestingly enough, a fourth base, very quick here, is coming out for him. You know, he doesn't have much vision down here. This one Widowmine is going to sort of tip him off that there's this Blinkstalker attack. However, this is Stim Bio versus just Blinkstalker. puCK is going to cancel the fourth CC here, but this Bio is trading quite well with these Blinkstalkers. And that was a forward Blink from puCK, so he's going to bleed off a good amount of these Stalkers. Misrallied Stalkers also getting picked off, but now there's massive depths. They're starting to be warped in here. They're going to be a great bumper for these Stalkers. Cyclone lifted off by the Phoenix here. We see that Cyclone does go down. Might be able to get the Warp Prism. Is Epic? No, he doesn't quite get it. More Bio is rallying out though, and Epic actually does have an army supply lead right now. Let's take a look. I'm not used to using this tab here. Oh well, so we see puCK now going sort of into his Robo. Looks like he's going to be going into Disruptors here. That's sort of a tech puCK likes. He's got another Nexus on the way, so that's going to be his fourth base here, as his sort of quick natural is starting to mine out. Main bases are starting to mine out for these players. puCK is trying to pressure here, but he's really not going to get too much done unless Epic sort of overcommits, and he might just be doing that right now. This is a lot of Marauders here, but puCK is blinking right on top of them and picking off a good number of them. That was a massive loss for Epic there. You see a Siege Tank on the way for Epic. I guess he wants to be able to sort of force the Blinkstalkers to commit. He hasn't restarted his fourth CC, even though he's floating a bit of minerals. He needs to start producing more. We see more barracks on the way for Epic. There we go, so he can sort of start spending all that money. 2 Siege Tanks on the way, so that's what he's doing with these 2 factories now. I guess that's going to be his choice of tech. Blinkstalkers, though, are blinking on top of his entire army, but this is Stim Bio. There is a Medivac, well, 2 Medivacs that are supporting 2 Siege Tanks. SCV, they're pulled to sort of win the fight for Epic, so that was quite a good fight for Epic there. Now puCK's down on supply here. We see Epic's building up this Siege Tank count. puCK does have Disruptors, always a playmaker here, so there's always a chance that puCK can sort of even up the army supplies yet again with these Disruptors right now. We see 60 SCVs to 60 probes, Mules on top of that, so Epic is going to be in quite a good economic position. He's got a good army, however, there is the worry of the Disruptors that puCK has. They always have potential. 2 Widowmines are burrowing here. The Stalkers are going to pick them off before that, though. So that's the end of their story. More Disruptors on the way for puCK. We see 2 Siege Tanks for Epic, 2 Disruptors for puCK. Now, it's a bit of an interesting dynamic we'll see. Maybe we will see sort of the Disruptor versus Siege Tank play. Siege Tanks, I think, will probably win out in this. It's not something that we see often, as Siege Tanks, they were sort of common early on in Legacy of the Void, and they're still used a bit for pushes, but not in general compositions versus Protoss that much anymore. Not as much as it was early on in Legacy of the Void. Upgrade-wise, we see puCK heading towards an upgrade advantage here with his +2 armor on the way. We see Epic is moving north. He's going to finally scout this base after puCK has transferred all his workers out. Very few workers left there. Epic is moving in for a push. He's going to drop these Siege Tanks right away, going to lock down this base. The Mother Control moves forward, but possibly going to get picked off. Doesn't matter. The pylons are dead anyway. And this base for puCK is going to get picked off. Epic was building a 4th CC finally yet again, but that's going to go down. No cancel. Epic's got a good amount of units back at home. These SCVs and Marauders will help tank, possibly trade with a good amount of these Stalkers. The Stalkers, though, do blink forward, get on top of these tanks, but it is a decent trade for Epic when it is going into a base trade here. The Siege Tanks are moving up. You see 4 Disruptors for puCK. Not after there are the Disruptors there. We see them trading. Epic needs to split there. Takes a big hit from those Disruptors right now. The Siege Tanks, though, very effective, are going to be very useful in this base trade. 3rd base survived for Epic, so he's going to go back to mining there. He can always drop Mules on the base, even though it's mining out. We see a decent amount of production for Epic is still on the way. He's locked down the natural base of puCK, but he might be forced back here. Good concave from puCK. Blinkstalker's getting on top of his army. Epic is going to lift off and get away here. Epic does have a supply lead, but he's got an absurd amount of Medivacs. He's got 11 Medivacs, so that's a lot of his supply. Good split versus the Disruptor, only loses a little bit of units here. However, the Disruptors have more shots. The Stalkers are still trading very well versus the Bio. Lift off and drop to sort of save the units there. Anything you can to avoid those Disruptor shots. Epic is doing a good job here avoiding those. More Siege Tanks on the way. He's still got, what's that, 5 Siege Tanks. That's very useful versus a Gateway unit army. And these Stalkers are so low, any tank shot is going to do massive damage there. We go, a handful of Stalkers going down. Disruptor shot picks off one of the Siege Tanks. Epic's forced to go back by another, but puCK seemingly is out of Disruptors here. Epic chasing some probes there. I guess he knows that puCK still hits his face, but he did see that it's sort of binding out, so it's not too important right now. puCK gonna go for some harassment here. Epic floating over his main CC, but as he's doing that, these adepts for puCK are arriving. No production at home. A handful of Marines will be there to help, but puCK is gonna shade on in and start killing off workers. Meanwhile, great disruptor shots going down for puCK, picking off a large portion of Epic's army. Epic, though, still in a supply lead right now. These tanks getting great shots off. Yet again, how many kills are these tanks up to? 3 for that one, and can't click on that other one. Those medivacs were in the way. We see observer for puCK, so he knows there is the 4th base landed there. The adepts trying to get into the natural and get some harassment done, but Epic's supply lead is growing right now. puCK is hardly mining at all. If we look at the income here, Epic definitely has the advantage, even though he's down on workers, Terran mules, fresher base, and whatnot. puCK's resaturating this sort of almost mined out, what is his 2nd base. Now normally a Terran player goes for a planetary at this 4th base, but Epic's floated over his main base, so this is vulnerable to these stalkers. They're going to get right on top, blinking into the natural here. SCVs are dropping for Epic, and he's going to go down to a scary low amount of workers right now. He might even lose his CC, and that's very critical. Going to be down to 2 CCs. puCK killing this off. I wouldn't be surprised for him to throw up a Dark Shrine. Could be very effective in this situation. We see the observer being picked off there by Epic. Epic's killing off puCK's really only binding bases, sort of 2nd natural, but he is gonna puCK is possibly gonna pick up the 2nd CC for Epic right now. Oh, massive disruptor hit, killed off so many of those SCVs right now, and gets the CC. Very well done by puCK, but Epic managed to kill off that base. puCK's income is abysmal right now. Epic's not much better right now, but he does have 1 CC that he can always float over, so both players on very low income right now. puCK was down terribly when it came to that income tab, but no, he's brought himself back up by sort of crippling Epic's economy. puCK, another Nexus is started for him, so there's a chance he'll be able to saturate that in the long run, but we see Epic pushing up this ramp here. Still got a good amount of medivacs, so this bio could trade very effectively, except disruptors don't care whether you can heal your units because they can't be healed if they're dead. You see a disruptor picking off a few units. Every unit matters in this situation. The siege tanks, though, if they can help pick off the disruptors. Great disruptor shot going out, manages to connect right before the disruptors picked off him. Every disruptor here matters right now. Epic is trying to stim at the ramp. He tries to split, so much chaos going down right now. Siege tank getting connections on the stalker stuff. 1 disruptor shot goes at Epic, splitting, very well done there. Another disruptor shot goes at Epic. Another great split there, coming out of Epic. Dealing with these disruptors, he can grab these siege tanks, and now he can push in more. Epic's got a much scarier army right now with this bio when it comes to raw damage, but these disruptors may get some great hits, picking off a few Marauders there. Epic, though, is going to focus fire down all these disruptors, and now he's going to get on top of the Blink Stalkers. The Blink Stalkers for puCK are going to get away, however, now the natural base is sort of forfeit for puCK. 1 more disruptor on the way for puCK. He's hoping to get like a Hail Mary here. Bio 4, Epic is chasing down puCK's stalkers. He wants to get him. He's leaving a handful of units back at home. 1 adept and a cannon might actually clean up these Marines. Epic could possibly do is repositioning them. The Marauders are chasing down these stalkers. Gonna get one of them. Siege tanks could boost in here, and they are gonna get right on top of these stalkers, landing. Gonna possibly pick up 1, 2, maybe a 3rd. No, not quite. We see now, though, Epic's supply lead is sort of becoming more and more scary. If we look at the actual units, Epic down on workers, so he's got a much scarier army supply. 1 disruptor has been rebuilt for puCK, though, and Epic might not expect this. He's possibly not paying attention here. He's moving in. He's going to focus fire down the disruptor. puCK doesn't quite get off the shot there, and now the siege tanks are going to lock down this final base for puCK. Epic trying to mine yet again. He's floated over his 1 CC. He's got no production at home right now, so these SCVs are going to have to sort of run for their lives, I guess. 1 Marine for this base 4. puCK hasn't been scouted, though, but right now puCK's main base is being ravaged right now. We're sort of heading on into a full-on base trade. Both players not mining at all, really. puCK did transfer probes to this base, so he will be able to make an odd unit here or there, and here we go. He's making a Dark Shrine. This could be puCK's method to come back. I was talking about this a few minutes earlier, but a Dark Shrine, better late than never, I guess. puCK gonna lose his main base. He's gonna start losing all his gateways, but he's smart enough here to start making another. And he's gonna start, and it seems that puCK's actually gonna try to pick off Epic's 1 CC here. This could be massive. If he gets this, Epic's not gonna be able to detect. Epic's floating the CC, but I think he's gonna lose it, and the DT should win puCK the game then. as there will be no detection for puCK. Epic is floating the CC over in a panic, stimming back. Medivacs fully loaded with all his units. The CC does stay alive just barely. puCK's trying to get on top of the CC. Epic knows he needs to keep it alive right now. puCK has just enough money for 1 or 2 Dark Templar here. That could be all he needs. Epic, though, moving in. He's going to get on top of these Adepts. I guess he sees them as for sure kills right now. The Adepts are going to go down to the siege tanks. One of them may get out there. But Epic did keep his CC alive. That's very important right now. But puCK is mining. He's re-secured this base up top. We see Epic just keeping all his units in his medivacs. I guess he says, why not? I'll try to, I'll just, you know, land on top of your stalkers. I know you don't have too many. There's too many medivacs for you to focus fire him down. So Epic can just keep his units in the air, and that'll be very effective when it comes to, if there is actually DTs made. 1 DT being made for puCK. If he reveals this, if Epic sort of starts getting slashed away, Epic will know that he needs to land and secure his CC right away. The DT is moving out. puCK possibly wanted to make sure that he can't mine at all. We see the Stalkers moving in, possibly trying to pick off a unit or two, but they really can't get much done right now. So puCK is going to lose his mining advantage right now. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. Well, units tab, we see puCK still has probes right now. He's got 400 minerals. He can re-expand. Oh no, Epic's moving out with a CC. He is going to lose it here. And puCK is no, and so now the DTs for puCK are going to be the playmaker. Epic can lift off up in these CCs. puCK is being revealed, but it's going to be up to the DTs for puCK to try and kill this army before. So now Epic really only has one choice, and that is to try and kill puCK and destroy all of his buildings. puCK is being revealed, so he will have to be forced to rebuild a unit right now. Epic paying attention to where that DT is, needs to lift up units when he can. He can just lift these up right now. He gets all his Marauders and picks up the siege tanks as well. And the funny thing is, puCK can't like sort of link on top and punish Epic right now, as there's simply too much bio. Epic is going to start getting slashed away by one of these DTs. One of those siege tanks losing a bit of health. Every bit of health matters right now when it comes down to the army supply. puCK working away on the production of Epic slowly, but he knows that Epic's being revealed. He knows Epic has no CC. puCK has decided to rebuild his base down in the bottom. The production of Epic might eventually see that. Epic's moving into the main base of puCK. I guess he wants to get anything he can. This is going into a full-on base trade. Epic unloading a Marauder or two a bit early. Those could be picked off by the DTs, and every unit matters right now. Epic could do with sending sort of a barracks to every location of the map, or just to one of the sort of no-fly zones. But if this production does see this Nexus, it is going to be so huge. It's flying in. Oh, I don't think it's... Oh, he's moving it over. He does see it. So he does know where the Nexus for puCK is, and puCK alarm bells are going to be going off for Epic. He's going to know that he needs to kill this right now. The DT, oh, the Stalkers and DTs could possibly pick off a few units right now. However, the Marauders are going to get right on top of the Stalkers. Siege tanks can be dropped right now. They are going to pick off a few of the Stalkers. Siege tanks are saved by Epic, and the Marauders are going to keep running. Epic does have a Marauder out of position, though. He needs to be careful, needs to save that. puCK going to want to try and mine, I guess, anything he can right now. Every little bit matters, but it's actually going to be tough for puCK to win this game. This is a crazy base trade right now. Both players really have nothing, but it's a full-on race to see whether Epic can destroy puCK's stuff before the DTs finish him off. Epic landing all of his units. You're going to start to destroy this Nexus. If this goes down before puCK reaches 400 minerals, that's pretty much it for puCK by all means. And puCK does lose the Nexus. So this is going to put him in a very tough situation. The Marauders are starting to pick up all the probes. Where are the siege tanks, though? The siege tanks... Okay, there they are. They are still in the medivacs, possibly going to pick off the Stalker. Not quite. And now we see Epic aware that puCK is now being revealed, and now he knows that all he has to do is kill the remaining tech. puCK leaving a probe out on the map anywhere that he can so he can panic rebuild a unit if he needs to. The Dark Templar for puCK is going to sort of sit at home and try to defend the remaining buildings. That's really his only choice right now, and hopefully hope Epic bleeds off his units. Epic's got so many medivacs, though. He doesn't want to drop on top of this cloak DT, and he's going to try to pull puCK apart right now. He needs to lift up one of those siege tanks. He does lose one of the siege tanks. Dropping, picking off the extractor here down, well, the refineries. We see Epic trying to get anything he can. This is actually getting a bit close here. The Marauders are going to be able to possibly pick off some of the Stalkers. One of the siege tanks is left. All the really buildings of all the army for puCK has gone down. Besides these CPs, it's now sort of a chase. There is one Phoenix though, and there's no AA for Epic. Where did this one Phoenix come from? Did puCK have it the whole time, or did he just make it? I think he might have just made it, and now there's not a single bit of AA. I think puCK might have just won this game by making that one Phoenix or pulling that one Phoenix out. Epic has no AA. He can't pick off all the units in time, and I think puCK is going to take the game here. Epic trying to pick off Stalkers here, but I don't think it matters. No resources for Epic. 2 Marauders and 12 Medivacs. I don't think Epic can win this game. The last Marauder is being microed heartily. The one Phoenix is working away, but Epic says, haha, damn. Oh, very well done by puCK, managing to win the game. GG is called as Epic takes the game. Very well played by both players. Such a hard thing to... So hard for the players to know what to do in a situation like that. So anyway, if you guys have enjoyed the cast, I think that was a fantastic game. North America replays certainly do deliver. So I shall see you guys next time. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe, as I'm always putting out more StarCraft 2 replays. See you next time.